Good morning, everyone. GrimzyFinds here, back from SoCal Gaming Expo. If you can't tell, this is the Monday after the Sunday and I am so tired. It was just a roller coaster of an event. I want to start with talking about day one. Day one was the best day out of both the days as far as sales go and as far as like, you know, meeting people and all that stuff. Met a few people that actually recognized me. I'm not a huge, I don't consider myself at all to be a huge YouTuber. I only have 1,100 subscribers, but I was still very taken aback when I met some people that said, "Hey Grimzy," it was pretty cool. So if you do see me, make sure you say hi. I mean, I like meeting people and talking and just seeing what, you know, what they do and, you know, what they enjoy doing. Even did some trades, even did some buys. I do want to show you my table right here. First thing foremost, I did bring the transformer and the fire alert. Both of them are here. I don't want to sell them on eBay because of the size, so that's why they're there. If they don't sell, I'm gonna have to list them on eBay. We got Turtles toys. Most of them are complete with their little accessories, so they're here. I do have a ton more at home. Here's some TCG stuff right here. Plush, amiibo, and then we got the game starting right here. This is the higher value stuff, and then the rest of the stuff is just more or less, you know, like 20 and under. Funko Pops, systems, consoles, posters that I've actually found. I forgot I had these posters. Godzilla toy, and then NES. That's all I could pretty much cram in this space and still function, so hopefully it ends up being pretty good. I'm excited about this convention. Hopefully it makes me some money for that disc resurfacer, but we'll see how it turns out. Day one, my table was pretty packed. I could barely fit everything I brought, expecting to, you know, break even and maybe make a little bit of money. But lo and behold, I got hit. The first 2 hours was pretty much crazy. It was hectic. One reseller bought about $1,200 off of me just like in the first hour. It was insane. As far as the video title goes, we'll get to that in a little bit. I did run into Chase after the right price on day one. It was very cool meeting him. Very down to earth, Sky guy as well. They bought some stuff for my table. Unlike the thumbnail, they did not buy the Grail. So they did buy a pretty cool amount of stuff. And to show you guys what they bought, I'm gonna roll the clip right here. I'm here with Chase. I didn't think I was gonna meet this guy, but I'm here with him. Bro? And I sold him some games. Here's what I sold him.
Yeah, so you hooked me up with a deal, $220 for Emerald, Wii Sports, and Wii Sports Resort. I definitely appreciate it, brother.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you.
They did buy some cool stuff. Pokemon Emerald was an extra. So I do have Pokemon Emerald complete in box. And when I was scourging my collection just to see if I had any doubles, I ran into an extra Pokemon Emerald. So I found one in the garage sale this year and I already flipped it on eBay. Kind of regretting doing that because I mean, I would rather sell it at the convention for cash. But in a stash, I found an extra Pokemon Emerald and I still got pretty much what I would have gotten on eBay for it. He did buy Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort, but because he's a cool guy, I learned a lot from watching his videos in the past. His content is pretty entertaining. I like the $10 challenge. I wanted to go ahead and cut him a deal and it was a fair deal overall. The other thing he bought that wasn't filmed was Star Wars games. He was looking for Star Wars games for some reason. I thought he might do a mini series or something. So he was looking for Star Wars games, so he found that and he bought that. So $30 for that. Overall, very happy with interaction with Chase. If you happen to watch this, hi, it was amazing meeting you. I would like to get to your level someday. That was pretty much the high of day one, you know, that $1,200 transaction from that reseller guy that bought a bunch of stuff and then meeting Chase after the right price. So overall, both of those was pretty cool. I did have a helper, luckily, my friend. He was watching the table a lot while I was out doing stuff. Doing it by yourself is very difficult, especially with, you know, if you have a bigger space or if you have high dollar items. I mean, unfortunately, people can and possibly will steal if not there. I would like to think that, you know, everyone wouldn't do that, but there is a possibility. You got to implement things to prevent that from happening. On to day two. Here's a little footage of day two. Good morning, everyone. I've sold so much on day one. Pretty happy with that. I met Chase after the right price. I saw Phoenix recently. I haven't met him yet. And I also saw Pixel Games, but they've been busy because they're running the show. So I haven't really had a chance to talk to them either, but I do want to buy something. So I'm gonna go head over there right now and see if I'm able to lock in a purchase. I saw a GameCube game that I don't have for my collection. So if they give me a decent deal, I might go ahead and buy it. So we'll see you guys over there. Day two is where I did most of my trades and where I bought some stuff. I did a couple trades. One of the things I wanted to show you guys is a little clip I'm going to show you right here of me buying a GameCube game I didn't have in my collection. So you guys know I love GameCube, so I was super stoked to get this. So I looked at the GameCube games in this booth and they have a game I don't have for GameCube. and that is Baten Kaido's Origins. So I have the other one that's more common, but I do not have Baten Kaido's Origin. They have Sebi on it, but I kind of want it, so I'm gonna try to work out a deal with him. They have some amazing Mega Man games as well. Star Force Dragon, and Red Joker. Ooh, Red Joker. Sheesh. But for now, I think I'm just gonna get Baten Kaidos. All right,
let's go.
So this is Mort right here. We're trying to make a deal here. So we have Baten Kaidos. It's a game I don't have in my GameCube collection. You have 70 on it.
Yes.
I'm not trying to break your back or anything, but what is the best you can do on this?
You tell me first.
I hope this doesn't insult you. Could you do 50?
Can you meet me in the middle at 60?
55?
I'll do 55.
All right.
Cheers.
Thanks, Mort.
All
So
right.
I'm adding a GameCube game to my collection. So excited. So we'll see more detail in the pickup recap, but very, very awesome.
Yay!
Thank you, man. So yes, I bought Baten Kaido's Origins. I did not have that in my collection. I do have the other one, the more common one. Very nice getting this game to my collection. As you know, I am on cloud 9 whenever I add something for GameCube to my collection. Thank you very much for cutting me a deal. Maybe in a future convention, if I see you, I might get some of those Mega Man games. I want to talk about 2 trades I did. First one was a Sega Dreamcast game. Traded an Xbox game for it. It was like a $15, $20 Xbox game for the Star Wars game. I mainly did it because it's Dreamcast and I want to revamp my Dreamcast a little bit more. I want to increase the size of it because it's pretty humble right now. The other big trade I did was a couple of loose Turbo Graphics games. Probably the highest one was Splatterhouse, but again, it was loose cart. Traded, I think it was 3, and Keith Courage is the 4th one. Keith Courage is like a common game. I traded those for these 2 games right here. I traded Zero the Kamikaze GTA Collector's Edition for PlayStation 1. Now, when I was trying to initiate the trade, I did want to see where Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel was. I did see a couple sold, but unfortunately, they were all crossed out. I was gonna gauge the price about 150. The guy said just 100. I think it was pretty fair, just depending on the value of the Zero Sega game. It might actually have came up, I don't know. It does have a labelware, but I'm still very happy to add a game, a very rare game, to my Sega Genesis collection. I want to show you guys the last 2 things I bought and then talk about the Grail that's sold. The first thing I bought was a Suikoden for PS1 for $60. It was originally priced at $80. This was the viewer that I talked to. It was very nice meeting you, and thank you for cutting me a deal. I love adding games to my PS1 collection as well. Not as much as GameCube, but PlayStation's a very close second for me. The last thing I bought, I'm gonna show you right after I explain the Grail. Bought the item right after the Grail because felt like I needed to. Let me just get to what it sold. So I did sell Bubble Bobble Part 2 for NES. I was trying to record. I did not hit the record button. Here's a little clip right after I realized it wasn't recorded. Hi guys, so I messed up that little recording with Bubble Bobble Part 2. So I did sell it. I sold it to this person right here. He did agree. He even said some stuff. I did not hit the record button properly because I was so nervous when I was selling it, but it was right there and it's missing now. My heart is a little bit broken because it was part of my collection, but it was time to say goodbye. So many thoughts are going through my head, like what if I got a grade, this and the other thing. So I'm gonna let it rest a little bit just to see what my mind thinks after like a day from now. And in the pickup recap, I'll describe more of what entailed me to sell it, and also the emotion and how the guy was. He was very nice, so it's going to a good home. He's a collector, so I'm happy and sad, but we'll see how I feel in a day or 2. So see you guys there. Yes, I was so nervous when the transaction was happening that I did not hit record. It just really sucks that I did not hit record. The guy even said some things. He thanked me for the game and he was gonna treasure it and it was gonna go to his collection. Always hit record, double check, have someone else double check when you're trying to record something and when you're nervous. The feelings that I was going through were pretty much hot and cold. So I was hot in the moment I wanted the money, but I was also cold because it was a piece of my collection. And it's something that I may not ever find ever again. But the reason I did bring it was because, as I mentioned before, NES is not nostalgic to me at all whatsoever. I did not play that when I was younger. The console I did play when I was younger was Super Nintendo. Now, had that been a Grail for Super Nintendo, I wouldn't have brought it. The other reason I was a little bit cold is because of the way I got it. But I still have one more piece from that find that is a Grail, and that is DuckTales 2. The main reason I didn't want to sell it is because it was part of the deal with this one. Just to give you a little bit of a coverage of what that sale was, where I got them. Fortunately, I wasn't recording in between my hiatus and YouTube. Went to a sale and asked for video video game stuff, and they were out. They were right in front of me, and at this time it was 9 o'clock in the morning. I looked in the bins that they pointed out, and there was an NES. Had no idea Bubble Bobble Part 2 was in there. I just kind of looked through it and saw that there was a couple of complete in-box games and some loose games and an NES. Pointed at another bag, they had a couple of television games, and underneath there was a bunch of Ninja Turtle toys. I went through most of them before the convention. Nothing crazy in there, though I did just go through the bare minimum. There could be a potential, you know, weapon or something that's valuable that I'm not aware of as of the recording of this video. But Turtle stuff, Nintendo stuff, asked them how much they wanted for it. They said $100, paid the lady and left. These are finds that pretty much once in a lifetime. That was my remorse in selling it because of the way I got it. But having said that, I have less than $1 into Bubble Bobble Part 2 because of the amount I got, and I've already made my money back. So honestly, I have 0 into it, and I got 1,100 out of it. Still very happy I found Bubble Bobble Part 2. I did enjoy it in my collection for many years. I smile every time I saw it. I am so glad I still have this, and I can tell you with confidence that DuckTales 2 is not going anywhere. I do want to cling to that awesome find. And it's in the same condition Bubble Bobble Part 2 was. And I still like having a Grail. Now, the only way I would get rid of something like this is for a GameCube trade of stuff I don't have. Mention it to the guy that would bought Bubble Bobble Part 2. The only way I would, you know, go lower is if someone had like Pokemon box. I would do like an even trade because I want it for my GameCube collection. Looking for Pokemon box. Hopefully one day I'll run into it. So right afterwards, I felt like I needed to talk to someone that I can relate to what happened. So I went to the other vendor beside me, and you know, I just said, you know, I just sold a Grail for my collection. Sometimes you have to think business-wise, because I told them I wanted to buy a disc resurfacer. That basically, selling Bubble Bobble Part 2 sealed the deal for me in getting the disc resurfacer. And the disc resurfacer I'm going to get is the Elm 2. I'm going to get the GameCube attachment part so that I can resurface GameCube games as well. And I think that's going to be a huge increase for me when I find video games that are scratched, because it happens very often, and usually when it's scratched you go for a lower rate, and even sometimes the game doesn't even work, so you really take a loss in that. So Bubble Bobble Part 2 for an Elm, I think, is a very good investment. Now, you might be saying, Grimzy, you should have got it graded. That could have been quadruple the value of what it was. You're absolutely right. I agree with you, but at the same time, if it didn't sell in the convention, that was my plan. However, I was nervous wreck. I did not want to ship that item because as soon as that has a ding, as soon as it has a bend or crease or whatever, the value dropped. There was actually a recent sold on eBay, was $13.50. If you look at the sold listing, it says $1,500. So someone did take an offer for $13.50. After fees, after using the eBay fee calculator, if you're a top rated seller, whatever, it was $11.50. The reason I went down to 11 is because it was right there, it was happening, it was convenient, and I don't have to ship the item, I don't have to worry about it after this. So I felt comfortable going with 1,100. Okay, so Grimzy, you're gonna buy a new Elm. I'm gonna do a little bit of research. Let me know in the comments below, what would you do? Would you buy a brand new Elm, or would you buy a used one for a little bit cheaper that's pretty much new? So I'm gonna be doing a little bit of research, seeing, you know, what are the perks of getting a new one, what are the perks of getting a used one, and go from there. This is gonna go live this week on Thursday. I will wait to see some replies on the Elm, if anyone comments, just to see before I purchase an Elm. I will make a video when I do get it eventually and just do a review and see what my thoughts are. Last thing I do want to mention is from that vendor that, you know, told me that I made a very good decision for the business, but he does understand as a collector that it does hurt. I did buy Lunar for PS1 from him. He had it there and it was like, it caught my eye, and I did tell myself if I sold pretty well over the weekend, I was gonna buy it, and I did. He had it priced at $280. He assured me everything was in good condition. Here's a better view of the game. The box does have a little bit of wear, but the inside, everything is pristine. Everything is in very good condition. Some stuff is even still in the sealed baggies that comes with a pendant. So when I did research before I went over there, I had my mindset, you know, it was a $250 game. I was wrong. It's a $300 $100+ game if it comes with a pendant and if it's in very good condition. So very happy. And on top of that, I had a lunar item I got for free last year, so I can actually display them together. So that's very, very awesome for me. So very happy to add lunar to my collection. Anyways guys, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on selling Bubble Bobble Part 2, and would you have done it if your business needed something? Also, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. If you have a disc resurfacer, which one would you go with? And like always, just remember to comment, like, and subscribe for more videos, and follow my Instagram and TikTok at GrimzyRaider. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see what I find next. Thanks guys.